Okay, we're going to be going over the only 3 main automations you really need with N8N to make the most out of your business with content and really moving things forward. Because after using N8N and automations and just being in the space for so long, I've really come to the conclusion that a lot of the fluff or the noise that you hear about these brand new automations for this and that, AI agents, a lot of it is really just noise. You can't really get results out of it without investing tons of time, money, or just, it's not necessary, right? So before anything else, if you don't know me, my name is Devin. I've been in the AI or tech space for 7 years now. And today I'm going to be giving you some more of my knowledge, just again, off of my experience, what I've seen for myself with clients, and realistically what's working right now in 2026, right? So for the first automation, and again, I could be showing you this with N8N itself, but what I found is that people will try to copy what I make. Again, I don't give full blueprints here because that's pointless. If you're watching this video, chances are you want to learn. You don't want to just download a template and plug it in because it won't work for you in your specific situation. You need the knowledge to make it work no matter what, even if it's a template. You still need to go in there, change out the fields and the variable, maybe edit the code. So giving you a template and building it with you step by step is kind of pointless. And yeah, I don't do that. I did at first, but not anymore. So I'm going to be doing all of this from my iPad, and I feel like you can learn more about like the actual knowledge than just trying to copy and paste. Because I know somebody's going to watch the video if I do with N8N, and they're going to try to steal it node by node, and it's just not going to work, right? So here's what we're going to do. So the first automation, the first workflow that you would actually need and can benefit you in your business is going to be content research. Now, like I said before, like I always say, if you don't have any type of marketing or clients coming in or demand for automations, it's a waste of time, money, and an overall investment, right? So if you want to make the most out of your business, as you should be doing marketing. Now, for content research, pretty much what you're going to be doing is just looking at what's working in your space, your niche, and your market, and pretty much just remaking it yourself. That's really what you do, right? So in order to do this, right, the first node number 1, here we go, is going to be the trigger. And I'm not going to go too deep into all of this. I'm just giving you a broad overview that we can take this knowledge and try to figure out yourself. You'll learn way more by doing it all of this yourself, because again, if you just copy and paste it, it's not going to work. But if you're someone who really wants this in your business but don't have the time for it, click the link down below, book a free call. We can talk about it if you actually need it or not, and we can go from there to set something up if you qualify and if it makes sense for us to work together in the first place, right? So before you do anything else, you need a trigger, right? This can either be a cron trigger, aka timer, every day, every other week, whatever, and or manual. That's number 1, right? Then from there, what you want to do is you need some type of API to scrape a list of Instagram accounts, right? That's Alex Ramosi, Alex H. You got Mr. Beast, right? Just whatever, and then a whole bunch of random people right? So you want this automation. Now again, to find the automation or API that can actually do this, you can just go to Appify. They have a whole library of different sources and APIs you can download and plug into your automations. So go to appify.com. Now it's free, you get a limit per month, but again, if you're just trying things out, get like 2 accounts, set it up, and then just start learning from there. But again, if you want to get this going, go to Appify. You should be able to find one for Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is you want to do content research for, right? So from there, boom. Again, depending on which API you use in the first place, it'll have a filter system, right? Think of it like a filter, where you can select, okay, I want videos with this many views, or I want one with this many engagements that posted this long ago. And again, usually the APIs have that built in, but if it doesn't, what you can do is just bring it here. So let's just assume, right? Now, realistically, you want the API to do all that before it just goes and gives you a list of videos, because the more videos that it pulls for you, the more the cost is going to go up, and the more the cost goes up, the more you're going to have to pay. And then that $5 limit, I believe it's $5. It could be more now, but I believe it's $5. You'll waste it pretty much, right? And the more accounts you need, or the more money you're going to have to waste to begin with. So if you can find the API that does it all within the search, that's great. If not, then you're gonna have to just do something like this, right? So this right here, this is going to be if no filter. Also, y'all let me know about what you think about these iPad videos. It's like way easier to explain my thoughts and to like, you know, type it on Google Doc. So if no filter, do this. You can take a code, a code node, and or a AI node. If I were you, I would prefer a code node just to save, again, cost of running AI. It can't add up over time. It's not that expensive. But if I were you, just figure out a code node. You can just go into Claude, OpenAI, Gemini, even Grok probably, and it can give you something very simple to just take out this list of content, videos, and ideas that are working. Again, you want to base this off of views and engagement, and then filter all of them out, right? That's what you want to do right here. And then from there, let's just assume, boom, 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 go this way. Now from here, after you did the code node, you need another code node and or AI node, right? So but this one, you want AI/code. That's really sloppy, I'm sorry. AI/code, there we go. Little neater. Code node for listing. Best to worse, right? And you want to do this in a way that's like, okay, here are the top 10 to 15 videos in the past 2 weeks, 1 week in your specific market that are performing well. Now, when you do this, you don't want to copy the video word for word. You don't even want to watch the video realistically. You just want to take the title and look at the thumbnail, figure out what they're talking about, and just remake it yourself. That's pretty much it. Or you can make this even more in depth, right? So up here for the API with Appify, you can just say, okay, instead of doing the last week, you can go ahead and do the last 6 months, right? Depending on which industry you're in. If you're in an industry like tech, 6 months ago might not be relevant now. But if you're in fitness, if you're in business, if you're in marketing, if you're in, I don't know, beauty, whatever, 6 months ago probably is still pretty relevant, right? Ideas aren't like coming in and out that fast. So you can do that. But again, it all depends on your market and your niche. If you need help figuring all this out, again, click the link down below, book a free call, we can talk about it and go from there. So do that, boom, boom, boom. So after you have all this figured out right here, you'll make the list of ideas. Now, the special part for number 4, it's really sloppy, hold on. For number 4, there we go. You're gonna, there we go. What you wanna do is have your AI node pretty much create ideas for you as well, all right? Based on you. So for the system prompt, you want to say, okay, take these lists of content ideas that are performing well in my niche and not only give me ideas that are working from the list, but create new ideas that can be similar, break it down into subcategories, right? So if it's a video on gaining muscle mass on a plant-based diet, and that video did really well for somebody else or like multiple creators, you can say, okay, I'm gonna remake that same video, but now I'm also gonna break it down even more. So instead of only making a video on plant-based muscle gain, you can say, okay, well, let's talk about how to do that in the first place, right? What should your daily diet even look like? How can you cook these meals, right? Where should you be shopping for them? How do you find them online? How do you find discounts for them? You see what I'm saying here? So from there, you can figure out a whole bunch of ideas. You can have your AI node do it. And after it spits it out, you can have it be placed directly into a spreadsheet. It's a 10-minute video already. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Okay, spreadsheet, boom. Just like that. Now, moving on to the second one is going to be the DB reactivation. I'm trying to speed this up. I only wanted it to be like 15 minutes max. So DB reactivation, pretty much what it is if you have a database or a list of clients that you worked with, leads, whatever, in the past, you pretty much want to reactivate them and get them in touch with you again, right? So again, same trigger. You can be a cron. So sloppy. I gotta get used to writing. I just finished my last semester not too long ago, so my handwriting is already going into retirement. So boom, say cron slash trigger. Oh my gosh, that's a V. Trigger. There we go. Cron to trigger. Then from there, you want to take your spreadsheet. Oh, maybe I just can't spell. Spreadsheet. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Maybe I should go back to school. Spreadsheet. And now, again, depending on what you do, this can be a list of real estate leads, coaching leads, pool leads for pool building, whatever, right? In the spreadsheet, you need to have the date you've last contacted them and or you first acquired them in the first place, because you don't want to recontact leads that you just spoke with last month or even 2 months ago. That's still kind of too fresh. What you really want to do is find leads that you haven't spoken to in 6 months plus, 7 to 8 months, a year, right? You get the idea. And you need 2 to 3 columns. Let me just write them out so I don't forget. You need the first column for dates. Then you need another one for lead type, right? Or I guess you can say lead stage. Did you already have a conversation with them? Did you get on a call with them? Were they ready to book? Did you blow the meeting? Were they just not ready yet? What was the reason that they aren't an actual client and or they didn't buy from you in the first place? That's what you want to focus on right here, right? That's so date, lead stage, and then you can make this as creative as you want. Again, depending on what your business is and what you do, you can make this super specific or just super broad. Again, if you need any help setting this up, book the free call down below. We can talk about it and put you on the right path, right? So from there, spreadsheet, and then now there's different ways you can do this one, right? After you get the spreadsheet, you just need to pretty much filter them out. So let's just say you can do this in N8N. You can do this with the spreadsheet node from Google, but again, you can just set up a code filter to only take the ones that match this criteria right here, right? So after that, if you want, you can just say, okay, boom, now that we've done that, you could now contact them multiple ways, right? Email, most realistic, right? But again, depending on the lead stage that they were at and what you do, email might not be effective. So you can do email, do SMS. You can potentially do voice drops, which I might drop a video on that, but I don't really want to get, because I don't want to become a creator that teaches you how to do outreach. I don't want to go down that path because it's very, let me see. I'm still new with this iPad. Let me figure out if I can voice drop, or you can do I was at a blank. You can do AI voice agents. So once you get the lead, you can contact them either through email, SMS, voice drops, AI voice agents. And realistically, if you really want to get the most results out of this, I would say stick to either SMS and or AI voice agents. However, again, this depends on what you do. SMS, you're gonna get the highest response rates on there. Email, maybe not. It really depends on the demographic and what you do. But realistically, if you have their number and they already opted into accepting SMS from you, go with this one 100%. Definitely go SMS. But if you want to try something a little new, you can try AI voice agents. If they don't respond to either, any of these three above, then you can try with the AI voice agents and see what happens from there. Again, super quick video, nothing too long and expansive. If you guys want any of these specific videos more in depth, let me know. And then from there, you can just set up a system to a wait node or wait node into an if node to check, okay. It's really sloppy arrow. If wait, let's just say 2 days. If they don't respond, follow up with an if they do respond. then do nothing, right? They respond yes or no, whatever. But they do respond, and you can create logic to say, okay, or are they interested or not interested? No, yes. And then you just expand on that more. If they're interested, then they probably already, booked the call with you or reached out or said something. Or chances are you can just take over from the conversation if it's an SMS or if it's the AI voice agent. The voice agent should try to close them on a call, get them on a call, booked, etc. If they don't respond, then you just keep going down the rabbit hole of getting them to respond in the first place. Now, AI voice, the third one, about to repeat myself, invoicing and follow-ups. If you have a business where you allow people to pay later and or your invoicing is like on retainers, then you definitely want to have an N8N build for this right here, right? Now, most CRMs allow you to do this. Even like there's a lot of follow-up systems out there, but you really want to be more in depth with this if you can, right? If your business depends on getting invoices paid on time, so nothing goes into collection or you don't have to wait over and over again, bills are coming up. Invoicing and follow is pretty much the same thing. And I'm losing my voice. So I just got over crazy sickness, so gotta make this one quick. But invoicing and follow-ups, so pretty much same thing as the DB reactivation, except you're trying to get your invoice and or follow-up message in the first place. So you're not interacting with leads that are like in the past that you already like have history with. You're more so trying to interact with leads that are brand new that don't know you yet, and or invoicing, but it's pretty much the same thing. So we're gonna put them in one little tree. So same exact thing. Trigger. If you don't know what a trigger is, then you need to either do two things, right? One, go back and watch some of my older videos or content or just someone and figure out what all these nodes mean, and or have someone in-house build this for you, right? If you need help with that, that's exactly what we do at Nest Productions. We come in, we sit down with you, talk about what you actually need. We prevent you from just investing in fluff. We talk about, okay, do you need this? Do you need that? Can it actually help you? And then we go about building it for you, installing it for you, and setting up all the systems you need to make sure it actually runs. Because again, you don't want to waste time and money on this when all you really need was a simple lead magnet on Instagram, right? But again, if you need help with that, click the link down below in the description. Book a free call and we can talk about it from there. So, invoicing and follow-ups. If you need, okay, so pretty much boom. It's almost the same exact idea, right? Yeah, same exact idea as the DB reactivation. You have a list of invoices that need to be paid. So what you're gonna do is take the spreadsheet. You can do this with Stripe as well, but that's even more in depth. You can use spreadsheets and or Stripe. From there, you want to say, okay, look who has paid and who hasn't paid. Again, I don't remember off the top of my head if you can do this with Stripe, but spreadsheet does have a filtering thing, right? So if this date or that date, whatever, but if it doesn't, or for some odd reason you can't set it up, just use a code node, filter it out. So boom, if they haven't paid or haven't responded, and code node for the if, then logic again. I'm losing my breath and my energy's going down, just recovering from a sickness. So if that doesn't work, then you follow up with them, right? And then you have different options, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I actually have a whole video on this. If I can remember, I'll pin it, or I'll have it somewhere in here if I can remember it. So boom, redo this is really sloppy. 3, 4, and 5, right? So if they haven't responded in 1 week, 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, a month, right? This is all for follow-ups and invoicing. Why I said it pretty much the same thing, but the logic is a little bit different, right? So if they haven't responded in 1 week, it's a message specifically for this, right? You don't want to send the same follow-up message over and over again. If it hasn't responded in 10 days, you send them a message saying, hey, it's been 10 days, whatever. 3, you do the same thing over and over again, right? And that's pretty much it, right? If you have a simple knowledge of N8N, this should be pretty easy to follow. I'm not going to give you a blueprint. That doesn't help you at all, because you're going to get the blueprint, it's not going to work, and then you're going to just spend a whole bunch of time wasting money and everything else trying to figure it out. So again, if invoicing is your problem with follow-ups, this one right here is great. Database reactivation is a killer. You can bring so much money in with this one from business contacting past leads and or just doing a content research, which you should be doing no matter what. If you don't have a content team, again, let us know. We help small businesses with automation and marketing to make the most out of not only their time, but the technology and what they have going on already. So if you need any help with that, click the link down below in the description, book a free call. We can talk about it, see what you actually need. Again, chances are you don't need anything with N8N. You just need more help on the marketing side until you are ready to finally scale up with automations. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you.